Okay, everyone, welcome to another episode of the Gobby Kind of podcast. I'm so excited here today. First of all, is huge for me because you are the first female guest that I'm having on, Ayellet.
Honored.
Yeah, it's actually a struggle for me to have like female guests. It's just been difficult to find people, especially growing up super religious, where like you only really talk to men, so it's awkward like talking to women.
In the same way.
Yeah, so. But
That's so awkward.
yeah, it is. It's a little awkward. We're going to talk about this actually in the episode.
Yeah.
We want to talk about like religion and I guess branching out into the like I guess real world, quote unquote, and living in with a job and with out in secular life. Like it's just a new kind of concept. But whatever. Ayellet, you are a content creator. You are really a beautiful person inside and out. Yeah, you are an amazing family member, friend. You are my niece. Yes. And you're a makeup artist, which is so cool. YouTuber. I feel like I'm rambling a little bit. Ayellet, you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, happy to. I think Gobby is mentioning all of the stuff that I've ever done in my career. Thank you. I was a makeup artist for like 2 seconds.
Oh, okay.
And then I was a pre-med student. And now I'm a sales rep.
Yes, you are a badass saleswoman.
And soon to be personal trainer.
Oh, that's so exciting. I didn't know about this.
Yes.
That's so cool.
One of the things we're going to talk about on the podcast, navigating your 20s.
Yes, this is fun.
Can we curse on here?
We can, if you want. It would be a little bit more annoying just because I'd mark it as explicit. So that would be a drop annoying, but whatever. Anyway, so navigating our 20s. This is a fun thing that we're going to talk about.
Can I have permission to be explicit?
Yes, you have absolute permission.
It's kind of part of my vocabulary. I'd have to filter myself.
Yeah, you have permission to be your full you today, Ayellet. That's what we want here.
Thank you.
Of course.
Appreciate it.
So navigating our 20s. I'm just going to pull out this book real quick. You see this for the camera. Meg J, please come on my podcast.
I got to read that book.
Yeah. But
I guess I should also say how old I am.
Oh, yeah. How old are you?
I'm 22.
22. And just for reference, you don't have to share.
Yeah.
In your sales business, how much are you making? Like 6 figures?
I think that depends on the rep.
On the rep?
It depends on the rep. It depends how you perform.
Okay.
I'm in technology sales, so it's a little cushier of a job than like, I don't know, lumber sales.
Right.
I mean, people at my company have done lumber sales or like healthcare sales, stuff like that. And it really just depends. I think within my beginner's kind of role, I'm making anywhere between like 60 to 80K.
That's amazing. And you're 23.
22.
22, my bad. That's awesome. Sorry, can you pull your chair a little closer to me? Because the thing is blocking your face a little bit. Okay, perfect. Yeah.
Is this the best?
Yeah, that's much better.
Okay.
And you can move the mic a little closer to you, however you want. You could get aggressive with it. It's, by the way, it could be, yeah.
Awesome. Oh, wow. This is really cool.
It's great, no?
Yeah.
Anyways, so wow, 60 to 80K.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
If not even higher. I mean, Yael, my sister's, she's like an anomaly at this company and she's performed very, very well. So you have the opportunity to make 6 figures if you want.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm not surprised, honestly.
I know. She's a beast and she'll be on here very shortly.
Yeah, she will. And
we're going to do excited.
Yeah, we're going to do a 3-way podcast, us 3, and I want to do like a dating panel where like we talk about, it's going to be so fun, no?
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely. So what did you want to talk about with navigating in your 20s?
Oh, good Lord. When I was going to college, I kind of felt like I had to. Like it wasn't a choice. It was just like, this is the next thing you do after high school. And truth be told, I went to college a year early. I was 17, and I was very much still a child, for sure. And I was like, I'm not ready to go out into the workforce. Like, I'm fucking 17. What am I doing? I was like, let me go ahead and just sit in school for 4 years. I'll be 21. That still sounds super young. Like, let me just procrastinate in college. And so I did pre-med because I have Jewish parents, and that's what you do when you have Jewish parents.
Yeah.
You go and you do pre-med or pre-law, or I don't know. That's what my parents wanted me to do. And then as I got older and COVID happened, COVID was a big deal for me in terms of like choosing my profession, because I kind of saw how healthcare workers were treated during COVID. And I was like, nah.
It's really crazy. Yeah.
Big no for me. And I was like, well, what can I pivot into? And I was working as a receptionist before COVID and after COVID. That was like
while you were in school.
While I was in school, because it's the easiest job to have when you're a student. You just sit there and you study and you get paid good money. Guys, if you're a receptionist, don't take less than $25 an hour if you live in New York. Okay,
That's good advice.
Yeah, don't do it, because trust me, they have the budget. That was like a lesson I had to learn, like lowballing yourself. I lowballed myself because I started at 18 and they were willing to pay me 25.
Yikes.
In fact, they probably would have paid me 30.
Right.
So just like, that's something I'm navigating too. Like, what is my worth in the working industry?
Fascinating.
Am I a talent? Like, am I a hot commodity? If the answer is yes, girl, and that's the thing, it's hard to know if the answer is yes.
Yeah.
And I think as you work and you grow within the industry, whatever industry you decide to get into, I chose corporate for now. Slowly heading. Honestly, corporate has its pluses and minuses for sure. But right now I'm really living up in the pluses. Like,
That's
I think
awesome.
it's like an ideal thing for me, because you don't create, like you are salary basically. So you don't, like, if you feel tired one day and you want to rest, you can.
Wait, I thought you were getting commissions.
Commission and salary.
Oh, that's awesome. Okay.
Yeah.
Sweet.
So when you work, like, let's say as a trainer, you have to work every day. Every day you don't work, you're throwing money out the window, right?
Right.
And you're also, your income is based on your clients. If your client gets sick, or if your client goes on vacation, or if your client just doesn't want to hire you anymore, that's a stream of income that you're losing.
I mean, you brought up so many good points.
With
regards to like working in the workforce, like you brought up differences of working in an organization versus doing like a service business.
Yeah.
Like you want to be a physical trainer, and that you're saying rightfully, if you miss a day, you don't get paid at all.
Yeah.
On the other hand, though, if you're a hot commodity and you have good value as a physical trainer, then you can make, the sky's the limit. I don't know.
Yes.
Yeah. Personal trainers probably can charge 200 plus depending on the clients, per session.
Oh yeah. And especially
sure.
I think, like, being in New York City, you have such a large clientele.
Right.
Who, once again, don't lowball yourself, who will pay whatever price you give them if they feel that you are worth that value.
It's fascinating.
Also, psychiatry or whatever it is.
Yeah.
People believe that when they pay more for a service, it's worth more. It's more of a valuable service.
It's true. Honestly, as a therapist, I'm a therapist, mental health, whatever. I'm a marriage family therapist and professional clinical counselor. I understand, even though that I want to provide people with affordable services, seeing someone for free, unless they're literally kids, so they have no money to pay you anyways, but seeing someone for free is actually bad for them. It's better, even if they have very little money, it's better for them to pay you at least something. Because when you pay money for
Classic.
That's okay, yeah.
Proceed, it's fine.
No, so I'm saying, like, when you pay money for something, you are more likely to take it seriously.
To value it.
Yeah, exactly. To value it. It's like, okay, I'm doing a therapy session, instead of like just coming in and talking garbage about family members and friends and whatever. Oh, you know what they did to me this week, which could be valid. Some people just need to vent. You're probably more likely to sit there and want to improve your life, because it's like, hey, I'm paying this person to hear me out.
That's exactly what I'm doing right now in therapy. I go into my therapist office and I'm like, what are we doing today? I need an agenda. And she's like, that's not how this works. I was like, I'm paying you so much money. What do you mean that's not how this works?
That's hilarious.
Like, fix me already.
Yeah.
Make me better.
That's also another topic we should talk about. Like, people, especially with regards to navigating our 20s, like, therapy for a long time was stigmatized.
Oh
and
my
now,
God.
yeah. And for horrible reasons, people that need help should really go and get help that they need. We should make that as accessible as possible for people. We shouldn't be shaming you. Oh, you have a problem? Shame on you for trying to get help.
Right?
That's really screwed up.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I think this also, where this comes really heavy for me is in terms of like my parents, and by parents I mean like really my mom, but like when my parents,
sister, by the way, everyone.
Gavi's sister. Yeah. When my parents got divorced, my dad was like, "Oh, we should all go to therapy because this is a pretty big event for our children to be going through." And my mom had more so the idea of like, "No, they're fine. Like they don't, like they're not crazy. Like, are you calling my kids crazy?" You know, like because that stigma was still very much there 10 years ago.
Right.
And I'm just grateful that now that stigma has mostly fallen off, like for everyone. And we can all go out and get therapy. You know, yeah, BetterHelp, where you at? Get on here.
Right. Yeah, BetterHelp, please sponsor my podcast. But I think like what you're pointing out to also is that in the Bukharian community, yeah, it's a little bit more stigmatized.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, it's definitely getting better. Don't get me wrong, but it's a little bit more stigmatized, especially when it's like, oh, you're going to talk about family problems to strangers? Like,
what problems were perfect?
Yeah, exactly.
Everything is fine.
Yeah,
what
exactly.
generational trauma?
Yeah, it's funny, actually. There's like a denial aspect.
There's
right?
a denial aspect.
It's a real denial aspect.
100%.
Yeah. You know, this reminds me of an NF line. You know NF? Have you heard of him? He's like a rapper.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he has this one line from one of his songs, I can't remember. He's like, I'm not embarrassed to say I have problems. I'm embarrassed to say I never took care of them. You know?
Yeah.
It's such a good line. It's like everyone has problems. Every single person in life, I don't care who you are, you have problems. And it's like, it's not embarrassing to say it or to admit it. It's really embarrassing if you do nothing about it. It's like, if you can do something about your problems and you don't, it's embarrassing, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think also maybe we're coming from a place of privilege because we've both felt maybe financial struggle and maybe financial freedom in different stages in our life.
Different stages of life.
And I think maybe we come from a place of privilege at this point in our time because we can afford therapy.
That's such a good point, honestly. It's a really good point. My heart does go out for people that can't even afford it. And
because they can't even afford the necessities.
Right.
They're like, how am I going to pay rent this month?
Exactly.
And for those people, you get a pass, okay? But if you're swimming in that dough and you don't fix your shit, what are you doing?
That's so true too. But I mean, even for people that, let's say, don't have the money and maybe they're too stressed to even think about this, there are still plenty of free resources online and, you know, watching.
Or more affordable.
Right, more affordable therapy too. And if you have Medicaid, if you're poor and you don't have Medicaid, get on Medicaid.
Yeah.
Take
advantage of the country you live in if you're in America.
People will say that there's no free healthcare here, but actually, like, Medicaid is pretty good.
If you're poor enough.
Yeah. Right.
Are you struggling enough? Are you really, really grasping at straws at the grocery store? You can have free healthcare. That's the only way. You gotta suffer.
Yeah, this is sponsored by Medicaid. I'm joking. No, but seriously, if you really don't have money, you should really
suffer, like to get
to get on it.
You have to be so dirt poor.
It's tough. Yeah, it is tough. Honestly, it's really tough out there. It would be better if we had more universal like healthcare, I think. I don't know. There's obviously a right way to do it and a wrong way to do it.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. But anyways, I think this is going to tie us back a little bit full circle because you were mentioning how you saw in the medical industry, the doctors and nurses weren't being treated well through COVID. And I have a little experience working with agencies as a therapist. And I will tell you, I understand this very well. And while this applies definitely in the therapy field, it also applies for sure in the medical field as well. I'm pretty confident. Agencies and whoever runs hospitals, whoever like runs all these medical programs, this is exactly what they're looking for. They are looking to squeeze as much money out of the client as possible. They literally want to charge the max amount of money while paying the services, like the doctors, the therapists, whoever it is, the least amount of money.
Yeah, it's all about ROI.
Yeah, literally to give like the most passable care. And I know this from my job that I had as a therapist. This agency did not care about the students being serviced. I was working in a school as a school counselor. They could not care less about the students. Yeah, they don't care about them getting results. They don't care about anything. They just care that there is a therapist seeing them, writing reports that they can show the government and the insurances so that they can go and bill the max amount, literally the max amount. They do not want you seeing anyone else like that they cannot bill or anything like that. And it's really terrible and it's sad that like these people are real people. The kids are real people in the school that I was working in, for example. They're real people, you know, and they really need like a therapist. And just because they don't necessarily have the slipping my mind right now. They don't have the IEP. It's not IEP mandated for them to see a therapist. Doesn't mean they don't need it, and doesn't mean that they can't benefit from it. And it's sad because the agencies don't care, and
capitalism.
Yeah. It's really sad. It's really sad. But, and then it's the same thing. Doctors too, probably. They you want to spend more time with your patient. It doesn't matter, go see the next person. You help this one.
I think
to
stand out in the healthcare industry, that's something that you need to make a conscious decision to have and to do. And I say this because it makes a big impact when you're able to spend those extra 5 to 10 minutes that you're technically not billing for, but you're still able to give that time to your whoever it is you're speaking to as a healthcare professional, because it makes them feel like, oh, she cares.
Exactly.
They actually want to help people. They're not just here for the paycheck. And it makes a massive difference. And I say this because I've only experienced it once in my life with my current therapist. We'll always go a little bit over every time, like 5-10 minutes. And she's not a stickler about it versus I have a contrast. I have 2 therapists and the other one is always like, oh, we're out of time. Bye. And it feels like a business transaction when it's like that. Like 6:15 on the dot.
Ugh,
get out,
sad, Right.
So it kind of just, I don't enjoy the therapy as much because I'm like, this is like, I don't feel like you care.
Right.
And I don't expect therapists to care about all of their patients, but at least pretend to.
Right. I feel like the therapist is the one person you're really paying to care. Like,
just care about me, man.
Yeah, exactly. Right. I don't know. I mean, it's really sad. There are a lot of good therapists and bad therapists out there, but hopefully you find the right ones. And
yeah, I'm pretty happy with the split I have.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to be honest.
The split you have with regards to?
With therapy, because I do group therapy. I don't think most people know what group therapy is.
Interesting, yeah.
What my group therapy is just a bunch of women who get on Zoom once a week for like an hour, and we all just talk about our problems. I mean, obviously there's more to it because it is therapy, but it's just nice to have like a group of women I could tell stuff to that doesn't lead back to my life. Like, I won't go out to like my friend's house and hang out, and then they'll be like, so what was that thing, that juicy thing you were telling me about last time? And I'm like, oh, I don't feel mentally ready to be giving you an update on my life.
Interesting.
And so it's nice to like not be ambushed in real life with things that you're going through. So I really like group therapy. It's helping me lean into like a community of women that I wouldn't otherwise have.
That's awesome. That's beautiful, and I'm happy you have that.
Thanks.
Yeah. Okay, so I mean, is there more with regards to navigating in our 20s? Like, what else are we? Yeah,
I feel like an idiot for going to college.
Interesting. Why is that?
Well, when I was 17, I really wanted to pursue like a makeup career.
Okay.
And I think if I did, I think I would probably be very well off right now. I think I would have been super established in the makeup space. I think I would have been charging a lot of money. I think I would have been really, really good at my job. And I think...
And you are really good at makeup.
I am. But for me, the passion needs to be there.
Right.
And I'm not passionate about makeup anymore.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
And I wonder if I did pursue makeup, would it still be a passion of mine, or would I move on to something else? I don't know. But what passion is there for me right now is fitness, and I don't want to ignore it. Like I ignored my makeup kind of drive. And the reason I did school was just to make my parents happy.
That's so sad.
Yeah. Like I didn't want to go to college, but I didn't want to finish 12th grade of high school either. So I was like, let me just, because I went to yeshiva, and 12th grade in yeshivas, honestly, it was so stupid. I was like, why am I even here? My brain cells are dying being here. I need more. Random
side note, it's like, I think 12th grade should be completely abolished, like everywhere.
Was it just my school, or I was like, I
think it's everywhere. But I'll be honest with you, 12th grade was the best year of my school. Like that was when I really became like, the most confident. Just the most...
I remember you at that time.
Yeah, right? I was good. I wish I could go back to that.
What's up? I'm really into this psychology stuff. Fast forward.
Literally, I was so confident back then. I wish I could be that confident.
You were so confident.
I know.
borderline cocky.
But I mean, I probably was cocky. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I would just like
But I feel
hypnotize
like
people.
you deserved that shit. You earned it, damn it.
Thank you. Yeah.
You were really cool. I remember looking up. I was like, Gavi's really cool. I'm a cool uncle.
You're making me blush. Yeah. But
No,
stop,
really.
stop.
I was proud to like be your niece.
Oh, thank you so much.
I've cool. I would brag about you and Shmuel.
Oh, that's so cute.
Yeah.
Thank you. Anyways, yeah, but I want to get back to it. So you're saying that you regretted college because you wished that you pursued makeup instead. You were more passionate about it.
I don't think education is for me.
So that's so interesting, and I respect that and I appreciate that. Education is definitely not going to be for everyone. I personally think, I don't know if this is a controversial opinion, but I think that unless you know you want to go into some type of vocation, like for you, you knew you wanted to do makeup, right? Unless you're confident, like, okay, I want to be an electrician, something that doesn't require college, I honestly do think you should go to college, especially if you have access to like a cheap college like Queen's College. And if you're kind of like underprivileged, you could get financial aid and you could go to college for basically free. I think like I know people that have gotten paid to go to college.
Here's my argument.
Yeah, go ahead.
College degrees don't take you as far as they used to. Okay.
That's a good point.
You can't really get a job. I mean, I got my job because I had a college education.
Right.
It was either have sales experience or have a degree.
A degree.
And I was like, well, I have a degree, so give me the job. But I don't think the degree opened enough doors for me to justify the cost of the degree.
Was it very expensive?
I went to Turo College, so it was like $7,000-8,000 a semester.
Yeah.
It was expensive, but financial aid, baby. I was dirt poor.
Right, that's awesome.
So it was, I just like paid $100 here and there for like labs.
Right.
I really got so lucky. Mm-hmm. Like
with school.
That like my family was doing financially poorly at the time.
That's such a weird thing to say.
I know. Yeah. I'm so grateful I was poor. Right?
No, but honestly, it's true. You got a lot of benefits.
Yeah. We also got free dentistry because of Medicaid, and we were never scared to go to the doctor because we knew that it would get covered.
That's awesome.
It low key is great. And we got food stamps. Like we got, we were living. We weren't actually,
right,
you know, but. As a kid, it's good to know that there's, like, I remember feeling safer knowing that we had all these stuff we can lean on.
Right.
Like, I felt more stable.
I feel you.
Yeah.
Oh, that's beautiful. So, but I was saying, though, I think that if somebody doesn't know, talking about somebody that's lost in their 20s, let's say you're out of high school, you don't know what to do. I would say if you have a lot of money, this is the first thing I would say. If you have a lot of money, take a gap year and freaking travel the world.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, you're never going to have a time in your life where you're going to be able to travel the world, especially when you're 18, your standards are low. You know, go to hostels, go take trains throughout Europe, go to freaking Asia.
It might be dangerous, though.
Okay, stay safe.
You're stupid and you're 18.
You're stupid and 18.
You've never seen the world. I wouldn't go alone.
Okay, if you're a man, I would push you to go alone, honestly.
Yeah, if you're a woman, though, that's dangerous.
Right, if you're a woman, it is dangerous. My wife does have a friend who travels solo. And she's like a 5'1", like skinny Jewish girl.
She's very experienced. The more experienced you are, the better you are at navigating those situations and knowing which situations not to even get involved in.
That's a true point, actually. Yeah, that's a true point. Listen, stay safe. I'm not recommending anyone.
Go with someone in the beginning.
Right.
Learn an experienced person.
Yeah.
Learn the ropes. Grab a vet. A veteran, and then do it yourself once you learn how to be safe about it.
That's a really good point. Yeah, that's a great point. And I would say try to do it cheap.
Vets. Hit me up.
Right. But I would say try to do it cheap and try to do it, safe, obviously, and try to do it like where you're.
Though, if you're rich, you don't need to do it cheap.
That's a good point. Yeah.
That's like the goal. Right?
You don't need to do it cheap. That's true.
Also, I want to break the stigmatism, but you don't have to be super well off to travel. It needs to be one of your priorities. Like, do I want to go and get Chipotle every night, or do I want to go traveling?
Exactly, right?
In a couple of months. You know what I'm saying? Like, choose what you're spending your money on.
That's true.
Because we all have dispensable income. It's just, where are you putting it?
So true. It's so beautiful and it's so true.
Yeah.
It's, I'm starting to listen to the 4-hour.
It's disposable. What's
right? Disposable income.
Dispensable
income. Yeah.
Oh God.
It sounds like the name of a movie, not like dispensable income. Yeah.
Like Despicable Me.
Right. Yeah. But yeah, so travel the world. And honestly, I think like you're saying, you don't need to really have that much money. So I kind of take it back a little bit.
Yeah.
You could still do it. But I would say go talk to strangers, make new memories, have experiences, you know?
So the Jewish version is going to Israel for a year.
Exactly.
I was just thinking that.
Right.
That's literally and I didn't do that. And to be honest, I wish I did freaking something that would help me grow up a little bit. Because already at 18, I was very, very mature for my age, but I feel like I lacked that real life experience that you need. I was very like logically mature. A little bit logically mature, but also like in terms of could I bust out babies and take care of an entire household and run that shit? Yeah.
At 18, really?
Probably at like 16.
That's crazy.
Yeah. I was cooking at a young age, working at a young age, cleaning at a young age, consistently. So yeah, I can have that shit down pat, or at least I could, because I was fresh out of training. But now I'm just like frozen dinner. You know, literally my breakfast, lunch, and dinner are either frozen or canned.
That's funny.
Unless my sister cooks for me.
That's
I'm
so
just
funny.
so lazy.
I mean, you work a 9 to 5. You should give yourself some grace. You know.
It's work from home, Gabi.
Oh, okay.
You know?
But still, yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, listen, with the amount of time we just find ourselves wasting with Instagram and Netflix and all that stuff, YouTube, I don't know where the day goes sometimes.
Yeah,
you know?
I feel you. That's why I try to listen to podcasts.
Right.
I put it on the background. I listen. And I even do work while I listen to a podcast.
Right.
I listen to The Daily. Do you know The Daily?
No.
I like to make it a routine. I wake up, the first thing I do is put on The Daily. I yank myself out of bed, brush my teeth, and it gives me like a little dose of news in the morning.
So
I
it's
know a
a news
lot
podcast.
of people put on like a news, like, I don't know, what kind of news. They put on like a news channel in the
nude
morning.
news. That sounds fun.
That would be crazy.
I'd watch that news.
And they listen to the news in the morning, and that's too much media for me, fresh in the morning. But I can listen to a very nicely curated podcast with aesthetic music and a whole team that put this thing together, and there's interviews and it's complex. That's enough. That's like the kind of news I like.
More like softer and
Softer, but also really intense. They've been talking about Israel a lot on the podcast. And my sister can't hear anything about Israel. She freaks out. So
that's, by the way, a phenomenon. I'm hearing a lot of people that like are just getting anxiety hearing about the Israel-Palestine conflict.
It's hard to hear.
Right. I feel like especially for you and you guys are both Israeli. You know?
Yeah.
I don't know if you want to. I could edit that out if you don't want me to say it.
I think we're getting really deep and personal, and I think that's just part of it. Yeah. I literally told them I was dirt poor.
Right.
But anyway, I think dirt poor also like in the context of like the Jewish community that we were living in, because like we had a lot of friends that were well off, and comparing yourself to them doesn't feel very good either. So yeah, you don't have to put that in. But what were we talking about?
So this is how you start your morning. You listen to the podcast, and then
I brush my teeth. I get ready for work, and that's like my podcast. And then I've been listening to this other girl. She's like a self-help girl, and she's helped me in the dating space. And I know we wanted to talk about dating, so segue. But she basically helped me understand like my self-worth in the dating market.
Interesting.
She helped me understand the quality of a woman that I am, but also like just like women have value inherently without having to do anything. They just are valuable. That's why men are always trying to access us.
Right. Okay.
And so she just like helped me as like understanding how to approach the dating market, basically. And I've been learning a lot, because I feel like when I got out of my past relationship, I was just like scratching my head, and I was like, I don't know what to do. I needed to educate myself onto like the values I need in a relationship, and how I even want to conduct my relationship, because my relationship before was very like even Steven, 50-50. Not in terms of paying, but like we were very much equals. And as I'm doing more research, I'm like, oh, I kind of like the traditional roles more, where protector, provider, and then like I'm just a cute girl, you know?
More like
going back into those masculine, feminine roles.
Yes.
Interesting.
Yes.
I was definitely very much in my feminine energy for a while, but I think I'm really like stepping into the ball gown now. I'm just like, I am a freaking woman, bitches. You
are
know?
A goddess.
Well, maybe not a goddess, but definitely a woman.
All right,
nice. And I'm like just understanding what that means. I'm understanding the gravity of what being a woman is. That's
amazing. Honestly, I'm really happy for you.
Thank you.
That sounds really good. It sounds like you're feeling comfortable in this and you're exploring this, and that's like really good things. I want to hear from you, and I discussed masculinity in my podcast, and I never had a woman, so finally I'm able to talk about femininity too. I'm curious to hear more. Like, what does femininity mean to you?
Yeah.
How do you explain like being in your feminine?
My feminine energy?
Yeah, like feminine energy. Like I could try to explain to you if you would like to hear how I kind of define masculinity.
Go for it.
Okay, so like masculinity, like you said, being a protector, provider. And I genuinely believe, okay, another masculine trait is when you don't want to do something, doing it anyways, you know, not wanting to do it. Listen, unless you're sick, unless you have a real excuse, but not being in the mood to do something is not an excuse. You know, if you're a man, you got to do something even when it's hard. You know, like
I think that relates to both genders, just in different ways.
So of course, I'm not saying that women cannot or should not.
I think you mean that specifically within your duties, within your roles.
Yes, exactly.
If you don't want to protect and provide, guess what, motherfucker? Ain't no choice, right?
Exactly. If you and your wife are getting
mugged,
I don't care that you want to run away. It's your job to go and
protect your damn wife.
You know, like it's your it doesn't matter if you're too tired to work, but if you don't have money to put food on the table for your kids, it's your job. Like, it doesn't matter that you're not in the mood, you know? Like,
versus women within that specific role can opt out. But let's say the woman is running the house. She can't just not cook dinner, or she can't just not take care of the kids and put them to bed. Whatever the...
Right, so that's a good
You know
point,
what I'm saying?
It's funny, it applies to both, definitely. And I would say in different ways, for sure. But it's so funny. I don't know. Why do I feel like that's more of a masculine thing? Like when you're not in the mood to do something, like you do it anyways.
You like to torture yourself.
I'm a bit of a masochist.
You're just a masochist. I think maybe the whole male gender is you're just masochism.
It's just masochism. No, I'll tell you what I think it is a little bit. I think it's because it's like courage. You know, what is courage? Courage is like you're afraid and you overcome that fear and do it anyways. And like to me, courage is masculine. Not that women can't be courageous. I think it's important for women to be courageous too. But I view it as a masculine thing. You know, like it's like you're
maybe
afraid
the way
you do it
you're
anyways.
Specifically thinking about it, that seems very masculine to you. But I could definitely tell you that women experience that too.
Absolutely. You know, and it's like, okay, I'm too tired to go to the gym. You go to the fucking gym anyways. You know what I mean? Yeah, exactly.
Work those quads.
Or, you know, and listen, I mean, I'm saying that today I actually had a headache. I was thinking about canceling, but I was like, heck no. So I didn't end up going to the gym. No, I'm feeling better now. Good. I didn't end up going to the gym. I might sneak into the gym later. I know like the back door entrance.
Whose gym are you going to?
I go to my college, my old college's gym.
Oh, shut up. You're releasing this on the internet, you know.
Why not? Landers, you kick me. What are you going to do? Kick me out of my gym? Yeah. But this actually brings us full circle back to college. Unless you, we were talking about femininity. No.
Yeah, I like this topic much more than college. Okay. Fuck that.
Okay. So let's hear it from you. Like, what is femininity?
The female energy is very much in the receiving, but also multiplying. So you receive, you go nom nom nom, and then you give back tenfold. That's what women innately do.
That's beautiful,
right? I mean, you've probably noticed it with your wife now. Like, she's really a little powerhouse.
You know, it's interesting with my wife. I would say I don't necessarily think like I do something and then she gives me back like 10 more. Like, honestly, she just surprises me sometimes. Like, she buys me little gifts sometimes. Like this one time she bought me. That's so nice. Yeah, she bought me like a bunch of like blue candy and stuff. And then just like with like a blue gift bag. And she's like, out of the blue, because I love you. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't do anything for her
really sweet.
For her. Yeah, it was just she just randomly does it.
I think you need to see, because multiplying takes time. So I know you've only been married for like, what was it, a year now?
Not even. We just met each other a year ago, actually.
That's crazy.
I know, it's crazy. By the way, it's really crazy that we, a year and a week ago, I would have had no idea that I'd be married. Like today.
No clue.
I wouldn't have even.
It's crazy for me because I was with my ex for like 4 years, and I was like, at the 1 year mark, I don't think we were anywhere near. I think like at the 2-3 years, we kind of knew like, oh, this is like, we could get married, you know, like we were like very sure of each other. So it's just crazy how you guys did that in a year.
I know, it's insane. It's
Wait,
insane
how
to
long
me.
were you dating?
Like 3 months, 4 months.
Wow.
Yeah.
Woohoo.
Yeah,
Scary.
crazy, right? But we were spending, we spent literally every day together.
That's
we
really
probably spent
cute.
like 10 hours a day.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's really cute.
Yeah, it is really cute.
Love that.
But anyway, so yeah, let's get back to femininity. So
Yeah.
you would say that femininity they receive, and it's about like being graceful in that reception, let's say, and multiplying, like expand, like making something
is
better.
more like subconscious.
Interesting.
Like we're not aware of what we're doing. We just do it innately. It's part of our nature.
Right.
Because we're nurturers. And the definition of nurture is so that it can grow. Like that's the whole point of nurturing something, so it can grow. And I think we just do that innately. Like I'm looking around at your gorgeous home. I'm sure Haviva, I don't know if you say your name, but I'm sure your wife had like a huge role in this as well, right? Anyway, enough about her. Don't want to bring her in too much here. As I rotationally date in the dating market so I broke up with my ex, I think like 8-9 months ago.
Okay.
And I took a long time to sit and heal. And like, I realized I don't think I'll ever not love him. Like, I don't think I'll ever fully be healed from it. Because randomly sometimes I'll just think about us and I'll start sobbing. And I'll just mourn the relationship. Randomly, months later, like 7 months later, and like, you just sob and you just cry and you mourn it, and it's sad. And I don't know I feel like guys are notorious for taking like forever to heal, or is it the opposite way around? I know
it depends on the person.
One of the sexes definitely heals quicker than the other.
I think they would say if anything, guys would heal quicker, but I feel like that's not fair.
I feel like women really feel.
That's what they say. Yeah.
But I don't know. Who knows?
I think if anything, actually, what that would mean is that women would heal faster because you let yourself feel it more.
But it takes us a while to build up those feelings.
That's true too. I hear that.
We build it slower and we also lose it slower.
I heard that.
Basically, we get the short end of the stick.
No, so I'll tell you from my experience, I've had, a person that I've really caught a lot of feelings for, and it didn't work out or whatever. Like we never connected, and it just like really smashed my heart. Like literally, it took me forever to freaking heal from that.
Oh,
like,
I know.
Yeah, you were there. Yeah, it took me forever.
I know. It's really crazy.
It's really tough. Yeah, it's really tough. I mean, I can't even imagine for you. You were together for 4 years, right?
Yeah.
That's insane.
But like I said, as I rotationally date and I'm watching this girl's videos and I'm just applying before I go out on a new date, I watch her video and I like refresh.
What's this lady's name?
It's like brainwashing yourself. I'll send it to you after the podcast.
Cool. Oh, you don't want to plug her in?
I honestly, I don't know her name. She just comes up on my feed and cool. I click on her video. But it's called the Spoiled Girl Support Group Podcast.
Spoiled Girl Support Group Podcast. Okay, cool.
And her name is Manifest L.
Okay, cool.
She's an Asian lady and she's just so full of wisdom. And she's young like me too. And I'm just like,
really?
How is she so smart?
By the way, Manifest L, you're invited to this podcast.
I don't know where she's based. But she basically just like helps me understand the value and caliber of men. Because growing up, I attracted every kind of man. Because I was
you're
pretty.
A beautiful person. Yeah.
Yeah. And I may have attracted the attention of like the wrong men, bad men. And obviously I was perfectly capable of attracting good men because I have attracted good men in my adulthood, in my discernment. She talks about that there, meaning like your ability to judge a situation logically and well and make a valuable decision that's not going to screw you. That's what being in your discernment is.
Interesting.
And I like applying what she teaches me out on these dates, out on my rotational dating escapade.
It's beautiful.
Been really helpful in like helping me understand like how I want to have a relationship and how I can execute and practice on these people.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Not that they're experiments.
Right.
But yeah.
It gives you the opportunity to practice your feminine, I guess.
Because previous to this, I was only with my ex. Like he was my first serious relationship. And I was also like freaking 18 when we got together. So before then, in our Jewish ass community, there was limited options. So I didn't go to like public school or co-ed school. Like I was going to school with just girls. So what guys? And this actually leads us into our next topic. Look at us.
Okay. Yeah. Wow.
We're on point today.
Yeah.
Of like growing up in the Jewish space bubble. I feel like there's an echo. Growing up, is that better? That's better.
Yeah, that's fine.
Growing up in the Jewish bubble and then going out into the world and having to navigate how to interact with the opposite sex.
It's a challenge.
Yeah.
It's a real challenge.
I think especially if you're interacting with them, because I do on the side sometimes, I dance at bar and bat mitzvahs, and it gets really uncomfortable with the boys, because I'm just like, what the fuck do I do? What the fuck do I do? Who's doing some ASMR? I don't know. I don't know what the fuck I'm supposed to do. I don't know how to navigate that situation. And the worst part is when they try to rizz me up, which they do notoriously. Oh my God, yeah.
That's so cute.
And I'm just like, it's so inappropriate.
It's so creepy, yeah.
And I'm working. I know you're at a party. You're chilling.
Right.
But I'm working and you're making me uncomfortable because you're a child.
Yeah, right.
I've also been hit on by
parents, probably.
Not by the parents, but like by older staff members.
Ew. Oh my gosh.
Like 40-year-old staff members.
Yikes. Wow.
It's so uncomfortable because it's like, can't you tell I'm like 20? How do you not know that I'm 20?
Shame.
Yeah.
Right. Dang. So, I mean, how do you deal with it in those situations?
I just politely decline. But I did hit on a staff member once who happened to be very older. Like I think he was like mid 30s, which I've been with actually. It wasn't a big deal.
Okay.
It felt fine.
Yeah.
But we met at a party. We were both like looking at each other and we were giving each other eyes. And I was like, I need to get this guy's number. He was fine. Okay. He was fit and sexy.
You know, this is one of those like disparities between men and women. Like you have older, attractive women, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But I feel like a lot of guys don't even hit their peak until they're like in their 30s.
Facts.
Yeah.
No, it's facts. They need to like sit and mature and marinate in their man space or whatever. They need to work on building themselves. And usually they get pretty successful at that age.
Right. My best years are yet to come with my looks.
Oh, yeah.
You know, one of my goals, I get to announce this on the podcast. One of my goals in life is to bring sexy back.
Oh my gosh.
It's just just this undefined goal of like bring sexy back. This is like one of the things Gavi is doing with his life.
And you know what? I'm glad that men can peak in their like 30s and 40s. Like I'm really happy for them. And something I've realized is that I want to embrace my aging. Like I'm obviously going to get Botox though. Like, don't get me wrong.
Course, yeah.
When the time comes, it shall happen.
Right.
But I don't want to like fight it. I want to like let it wash over me. So like if I get gray hair, which I very well might because of my Bukharian genes, at the age of 30.
I started getting grays at like 18.
I know. It's in our genes. Like I'm just going to embrace it. I'm just going to embrace that shit.
Yeah.
And I think it's super, super beautiful when women just wear their hair gray and they look pretty too. Like it actually looks like a vibe. Thank you for not dyeing it. Cause then you get like that weird grown out part and it's just like so awkward. And honestly, watching Grace and Frankie, not to plug Grace and Frankie, but
I don't know who that is.
Do you know Jane Fonda?
No.
Oh, good God.
Okay.
Who are you? Basically, it's this show about like really old people, like 70s, 80s, who their husbands are gay for each other, and they've been gay for each other for like 20 years, and they've been cheating on their wives for the longest time. And the wives hate each other, and then they learn to slowly like each other. And they're
Wait,
like,
because of the whole gay thing?
Yeah, because they low-key like move in together.
The two guys move in together?
The two guys move in together, they get married, and then the two wives move in together.
While they're still married to the two wives?
No, they get divorced.
Oh, they get divorced. Okay,
yeah.
gotcha.
And so it's like watching Jane Fonda, and I forgot the other character's name, kind of like figure out that space. And the reason why I like it is because I like old people. I like, they always have some kind of wisdom, man.
Interesting.
They do. And so watching Grace and Frankie, I'm just like, I also like watching The Golden Bachelor. Just watching old people in their peak, it's motivating. There was a 60-year-old that was fucking rollerblading on that show.
Wow.
In The Golden Bachelor, I was like, oh, I don't have to stop ever because she's doing it at 60.
That is cool.
It's so empowering.
It really is.
It gives you perspective because life is short. You got to see it because it's so easy to live in your 20s and be like, I'm invincible. I'm going to do all the drugs. Give me all the drugs. And then you drug out and you have so much alcohol and weed and whatever the heck it is. And then you age really poorly.
Right.
And you forget that when you do those things, you're aging your body.
Yeah.
And I mean, none of my parents have done any drugs and have both drank very moderate amount of alcohol, and they both look so fucking young. And I feel a little stupid because I get high all the time.
Oh, okay, fine.
No, but I'm saying like the shit catches up with you, you know? Okay. And I'm also like not afraid to drink. You know, but also like I'm young, so I'm gonna do my stuff for like the next couple of years.
Yeah, exactly.
But if I'm still doing this when I'm 30, you have permission to slap me on the face.
No, come on, listen. Life is about having fun too. You know, I still drink all the time.
Yeah.
You know, just a couple of weeks ago, I really partied out.
Nice.
Yeah. I kind of want to go back. There were a few things I wanted to say about the college thing, and there were a few things I wanted to say about masculinity, femininity, and dating. Just about the college thing real quick, because we brought it up, and you know, there's so many amazing things that you brought up earlier about knowing your value in the marketplace, knowing your value in dating. And I think like, how do you quantify someone's value? Listen, everyone is infinitely valuable, but like there is a certain like what you can reasonably expect to get compensated in the marketplace, what you can reasonably expect to get compensated or reasonably expect in a spouse, whatever. But about college, the reason why I highly recommend anyone to go to college, literally, especially if you don't know what you want to do, is just because, first of all, socially, you can meet a lot of people, you can meet a lot of friends. It's really important, and you make connections, and you can make a lot of business connections too in college. If you network. Yeah, if you network. So people, honestly, yeah, my number one advice is network. I don't care what you're planning on going into. So it's not college,
it's the network.
Yeah, no, but the thing is, it's still the college because, like you said, you got the sales job only because you had a college degree.
Correct.
My first job while I was in grad school, the only reason I got that job, I was working as a teacher in for Title I for the government, whatever. They only would hire people with bachelor's degrees, and I was getting $50 for 40 minutes. You know, that's a lot of money. I was 22 at the time, whatever, from 22 to 23. That's really good money.
Baller.
Like, right. For the time being, like, that's sick. And I would only do it part-time. And that funded my car. That funded being able to do my internship and living throughout my college. Like, it supported me. Literally supported me. Yeah.
Because we're not sugar babies.
Right, exactly. Yeah. And I only would have been able to get that because I was only able to get that because I went to college. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Yeah.
2 success stories right here.
Right. And then aside for that, college is a stepping stone. Like you said, a bachelor's degree really doesn't do anything for you. But
once you have it,
you have it, exactly, you could go for your master's. And not only that, a lot of jobs like accounting, computer programming, I don't know, a bunch of other jobs, I'm sure, you only need a bachelor's. So, yeah.
Well, then you need to pursue those bachelor's degrees.
Right, exactly. Yeah. Meaning, I guess the best thing that I would say is be more mindful about it. Like, I wish, if I went back in time right now,
execution is key.
Okay, so yeah, it is. But if I went back in time, I got my bachelor's from a yeshiva. So I was learning literally from 7:30 a.m. to 10:30 at night, like Talmud all day. Yeah, it was crazy. It was like
when were
really
you
insane.
studying like your secular stuff?
So I was doing that on the side.
Are you kidding?
Yeah, literally, I was doing that on the side. So literally for 4 years, I was busy morning to night just studying Talmud like religiously in yeshiva in Chavetz Chaim actually.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy.
Did you enjoy it?
I did. At the time in my life, I was very passionate about it, and I really was like, feeling like this is very strongly the right thing to do.
Yeah.
And it's so funny. On another podcast, I was saying that I look back at that time with confusion, and I'm like, why was I so convinced that this very extreme way of living, this very like yeshiva version of living where like all you have to do with your life is learn Torah 24/7.
That's a lot.
Yeah, right. Why was I so convinced it's the right thing to do? Because now I don't think it's the right thing to do. I don't think God.
Out?
Oh, what
did
was
you
it?
work out at that time?
I did work out at the time. Yeah.
Okay, so at least you were like moving in some shape, way, or form.
Right. But I thought back at it and I was like, why was I so convinced? And I realized the answer. I remembered it. It was because of like the experience that I had. I experienced the sense of like, this is true. This is the right thing to do. I believe in this.
The way you were raised.
Yeah. But it was beyond that. It wasn't really the way I was raised. It was the way that I chose to live at that time.
But also you were validated because your brother was doing the same thing.
That's true too. Yeah, that's true too. I had my brother there, but, and friends there, a lot of really good friends. So
yeah, that was your social circle.
And
breaking out of it would have been really scary.
It would have been really scary. Yeah. It would have been really scary. It's true.
That's why we don't do things.
Don't do things. What do you mean?
The fear of leaving is scarier than the status quo, than the everyday. You might not be the most happy, but it's all that you know. And if you were to make a different decision, like right now, the reason I've stayed at my job for so long is because the consistency is such a nice change. Like growing up in the household that I did, and like never don't want to get into household trauma, but like always being anxious,
right?
And like having that calm, and also on top of the calm, having financial stability and financial freedom. And it's just, I'm like reveling in it. I'm like, I can't believe this is my reality. The first night I slept in my own room, I couldn't sleep. I was like, how the fuck did I even make it this far? I thought I would be dead by now.
What? Well,
I literally didn't, because I was a very miserable teenager. I didn't think I would, make it to 22. I wasn't like suicidal or anything, but I was just like really not happy. I was like, I wasn't very happy. Anyway, so.
How did you get out of that?
I moved out of my mom's house.
So meaning having your own space, your own independence, like gave you.
Yeah. And even when we first moved out, we were on unemployment. It was like mid-COVID.
Oh, wow. Remember when the government was just giving out money like that?
Oh my God. It saved our ass.
It did, right?
Because me and my sister were both entering our junior year of college, and we were both pre-med. And so we were both doing Physics 1 and Orgo 1 and Orgo 2 and Physics 2 in our junior year. And that shit is brutal, bro. Brutal. And so we didn't even have the time to work. I didn't have the time to work. I was studying all day, every day. So I'm really glad that like literally came in clutch, like Mishamayim from God, whatever, like the stars aligned. And I say Mishamayim, which means from God.
From the sky. From the
all the time. I'm always acknowledging God.
That's beautiful.
And that's never something that I thought I would be. I never thought I would. I was like, yeah, okay, God, get the fuck out. Like, what are you saying? You do. Like, you're so religious. What's wrong with you? Like,
but now you're able to appreciate.
But now, I don't know if it's God. I don't know if it's the universe. I don't know if it's manifestation at its finest. But I always say Mishamayim. So that's the bottom line.
No, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
That really is. I want to get into this more.
Okay.
But I just want to lock in, though, that real quick. Go to college because it's a stepping stool.
Okay. No, fair. Also, if you're 17 and you don't know what the fuck you want to do, maybe it's a good idea.
Right. It is.
But if you have an idea, like if you want to be, I don't know. Oh my God. I would have loved to be an ice skating coach. That was something I did in college. That would be awesome, right? Yeah, that would. The first thing that I did when I graduated was immediately go skate. I would skate every week all the time because I craved it. I yearned for it. That's awesome. I got really good. I got a coach and I was like getting really good and we should go skating one day. But I was thinking very seriously, like, should I be a coach? I could potentially do this if I practice enough. But I realized I was like, I'm so far away from good enough.
Interesting. So
far away. Because I started skating at 17. People started skating as kids. And I was just like, I don't know. I didn't. And that, oh my God, that leads me into my next thing, which is if you only believe you will succeed, that's the only option. Like, if you believe you could fail in this, you're going to fail. You have to be delulu enough to think you're going to make it. And then you will make it.
It's honestly
all
one of the
about
recipes. It's true.
Yeah.
It's one of the recipes of success.
Yeah.
You really have to believe that you can make it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's literally, and it's so easy to say, oh, just believe in yourself. The little train who can. Do you remember that? He was going up the hill and he was like, I think I can, I think I can, I think I can. And then he made it up the damn hill.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Almost put me to tears just now.
Shut up. Get the fuck out.
No, I'm serious. No, yeah. But actually, if I could go back to college, what I wish I would do though,
Yeah.
I wish I would take like music classes, piano, acting classes. Yeah, right.
My sister,
Yeah.
she did yoga and she did ballet,
Freaking yes.
pottery, and
Yes.
she had a blast. I was so
I would
jealous.
love to do that.
I was like, damn, I'm sitting here in Turo in my fucking bio lab. Like, God damn it.
No, one of my dreams though actually is that if I can make money through this and YouTube, let's say, I would go back to college and get a degree in screenwriting.
Oof.
Yeah.
Big oof. Wow. Why screenwriting?
I don't know. I just always wanted to write a sitcom. You know what I mean?
You are a living sitcom.
I know.
think
That's
that's why you
exactly
say
why.
that.
That's exactly why I say that. It is.
Also,
I feel
you
like-
grew up with your mom.
Right. Oh my! You know how much material that would give me?
So much material.
So much material. Yeah.
Gabi's mom is quite the character. For sure. Yeah.
For sure. But let's hear from you though a little
Yeah.
bit about you at a certain point in your life seem, let's say, unhappy, unfulfilled, and in many ways you've helped yourself from that point. And I think there are a lot of people maybe listening to this that have been through similar experiences, that are going through similar experiences. You know, what can you say to them, or what can you talk about within your own experience that really helped you to find more peace in your life?
Meaning like specific pieces of advice that people gave me?
Either that or just from your own experience. Like, what have you done that you can maybe share with others? Like, hey, if you're feeling lost or abused, I don't know what you might say, but
So I said, when I was in this situation, when I was like living it, experiencing it, I knew it would end eventually. I knew I would get to move out eventually. I knew there was an end. There a light at the end of the tunnel, if you will.
right.
And I was just biding my time to get out. I honestly wanted to. I thought multiple times, I was like, should I just emancipate myself? Can I even do that? Like, I just want to get out of here. And I'm making my household sound really bad. It wasn't very bad, but I was just done. I was like, I feel like I'm an adult. I can handle the world. I'm fine. And I felt that at like 16, maybe even 15, honestly, maybe even younger. Because like I said, I grew up. I think when my parents got divorced, me and my sister took on a lot more responsibility than we did previous to that. And we just grew up really quickly.
You guys had to.
Well, we grew up fast, period, and very mature and very much capable of like doing a lot. But I think when the divorce hit, we were just like, okay, we have to step up a little. Yeah. And I think that's like where the sadness maybe came from like experiencing that change and as a teenager. And that I know I was going to say, I feel like that's when you need your parents to be there for you the most, because that's when you are doing the craziest shit. And you need your parents to be like, hey, do you want to talk? Like, is everything okay? You know?
Yeah.
Like, do you need my support in any way? And that conversation never happened because that wasn't really an option. I feel like it was so weird. I felt like I was an 8-year-old adult. Like, I had to do all the adult stuff, but I had the limitations of an 8-year-old. In terms of like what I could do. It's such a weird place to be. I think it was especially weird once I was in college and I still had a curfew. My mom would call me at 10 p.m. and she was like, where the fuck are you? And I was like, oh my God, I used to have so much anxiety when I lived at home. Like whenever I would get a phone call or a text, because, you know, I did stuff I wasn't supposed to do. I had a boyfriend who I wasn't supposed to have for a year. And so every time I was with him, I would have anxiety. Because if my mom FaceTimes me while I'm with him, I'm in big fat trouble. Like, what am I going to tell her? Who am I with? You know? And so, like, my anxiety was always really, really high for, like, that first year while we were together. And I lived at my mom's house.
Really? Okay, so I just kind of want to bring you back a little bit then. It sounds like you had a lot of times where you were overwhelmed and dealing with a lot. Like, have you found ways to deal with that stress or?
Honestly, just getting away from it. That was the best thing. Like just moving out and living in my own space. And also, honestly, having a partner. Like my boyfriend at the time was really supportive. And I was able to lean on him when I needed
so awesome.
to.
Yeah. Honestly, this is something that I want to discuss with one of my single friends. We're starting a podcast, and I'm really excited about it.
Another one?
Yeah. It's called whatever. He's my friend. I've had him on my podcast before. His name's Aaron Steinberg.
Oh, yeah. I listened to that one.
Oh, you listened to that
Yeah.
one? Okay, cool. So he has his own podcast called the Always Nuance Podcast. It's like a monologue. He's just talking, to the mic. So we're starting a podcast together where we're going to do like half an hour to 45 minutes of like a mental health or self-help topic, just going in depth into one topic,
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's going to be
You're
sick.
educated in that too.
Right.
Like
Right,
that's
right,
your
right.
expertise.
Exactly. I think it's going to be great, but
I'm excited.
yeah, I'm excited too. But basically, one of the things that I mentioned to him that we should do a podcast on is this idea of like single life versus married life or like committed relationship life. And it's such a different experience to be in a committed relationship with someone. It's like literally like, I can't tell you why. Before, let's say I met my wife, I would just like feel lonely and depressed sometimes. I never, ever feel depressed now. Like since I got married. And honestly, we're only married for like, 8 months, whatever it's been. It's not like there still obviously could be times where I feel really down, but I don't see it happening. I just always have someone to like regulate with, to hug, to hold, to feel connected to, to lean all my stuff on, and they have me to lean their stuff on. So it's like, it's
that
just
companionship.
right.
Yeah.
Right. It's so important.
It's because we're human. We're social creatures. Like I was so much in a funk this morning. I went out to the gym. I spoke to my gym friends and I came home fucking rejuvenated. I was like so much more like a functional at work for like 2 hours. It only lasts for what was that?
I don't know.
It only lasts for a couple of hours.
Wow.
And I took advantage of it. I was like, I need to work as fast as I can while I start what is it called when you're the happy hormone?
Oh, dopamine.
When my dopamine is still up from, because I wasn't feeling the workout either. I was having like a very slow, foggy day today. And I was like in the middle of freaking hip thrusts and I was like, nah. Go do the quad extensions.
Quad extensions.
Yeah. I was like, I need something low effort.
Right.
Yeah.
To pull you through it.
Yeah. I was like, let me go do that because that's the only thing I could wrap my head around. I think that's also something we should talk about, a topic of like giving yourself grace at the gym every workout. Like you don't have to force yourself through a workout just because it's on your schedule or, your program, whatever you're doing.
Right.
Like, you don't have to force yourself through a movement that isn't serving you at the time.
Absolutely.
Obviously take it with a grain of salt because if you're not doing it every time, if you're like, oh, I don't feel like it every single time, that's a problem.
100%.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you, this applies to everything, literally everything. And this is the best workout advice I've ever gotten. And it's so valuable. Literally, I'm telling you, it's the best word. It's the best workout advice. I'd give like another pause and preface. Do 70% most of the time. Most of the time, do 70%. It's so essential because it's like, if you end up doing 100%, 110% at the gym every single freaking day, you're going to burn yourself out or you're going to get injured. It's just not a healthy mindset to have because it's just not sustainable. Like 2
weeks to recover.
Exactly. Or it'll take you 2 weeks to recover. Exactly. It's just not sustainable. Listen, if you have magical powers and you could literally put in 100% every single day for 5 years,
steroids.
Go ahead, go do it, but it's just not, it's not possible and it's not likely and you probably can't.
Sustainable.
It's not sustainable. You're going to burn out. You're going to hurt yourself. It's not smart. And it applies to everything in life. Every single thing in life. Listen, there are going to be times where you need to put in 110%. You have no choice to put in 110%. You have to. Fine. But most of the time, 70%. And if you're playing the long game, if you're consistent, you'll be good. Because that's enough to be getting a good workout that you actually like have grown from this. You will grow from it. You let yourself heal. And it's actually, you gain from it. So you get that sense of pride and like accomplishment.
And going to the gym teaches me things. And like in terms of like how I apply it to my life. Like my sister was like giving me some work advice, and I was like, oh, like how I do this and this and this at the gym. And she was like, yeah, exactly. And I was like, holy shit. Like whoever thought that I would get valuable insight from the gym? Like, what the fuck? You know?
It's so funny.
It's so random.
Yeah.
And so unexpected, but greatly appreciated.
100%. Ayellet, let me quickly recap everything that we talked about, and I want to get into closing, and I want to hear your like message that you want to share with the world, and I want people to know where to find you. First, I'm going to do a quick recap. We talked about, you know, college and navigating yourself in your 20s, understanding your worth in like value in the marketplace, and not letting yourself get taken advantage of for your jobs, especially young. I remember my first job.
Both work and romance.
Yeah, literally. My first job when I was like 19 tutoring, I was charging like $6 an hour.
Oof.
Yeah, literally. Because I felt bad charging more.
Yeah.
I literally was like, oh, I'm sorry. No, don't be afraid. You know, it's one of those things you really have to get over.
Because people value the money that they pay for. They'll value, they think it's more valuable when it's more expensive.
Exactly.
So so knowing your worth, for sure.
Yeah, exactly. 100%. And it's beyond knowing your worth, because I think many people will like think like, oh yeah, I know my worth. It's $6 an hour. You know? Like, so don't be afraid. You know?
Be fucking Delulu about that shit.
You got to.
I'm the best.
Yeah.
I'm the best fucking babysitter. I'm the best fucking makeup artist. I'm the best fucking sleeper. Whatever the fuck it is.
Exactly. Right? Yeah.
You're just the best.
Exactly. And actually be the best. Don't just be a narcissist. Be the best. You know
go
what? Do it.
Be Delulu though.
Yeah. Be a little Delulu.
It needs to be Delulu for it to get there.
That's beautiful. I really like that.
And eventually it won't be Delulu.
That's true.
That's the goal.
I love that. Yeah.
Fake it till you make it.
That's beautiful. We talked about getting over overwhelm and dealing with stress and getting away from terrible, stressful situations, relationships. I don't know. What didn't we talk about, honestly?
Right?
We talked about
everything.
Yeah. Honestly, though, I want to go so much more in depth with you on all these topics.
Yeah, I feel like we just touched the surface.
I know we just touched the surface. I feel like we could start a whole podcast together and have like a great, great.
I'd be happy to be a regular guest.
That'd be fun. Yeah, we should definitely do this again.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And I'm very excited to do this with Yael also.
My sister.
Yeah, both of you guys are such badasses, and
we've lived a lot. For young 20-year-olds.
It's crazy.
We've
honestly.
been through a lot.
I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
I'm proud of her too. So,
I feel so old all of a sudden. I feel like a wise old lady.
Yeah, I mean you are, and we didn't even touch on content creation. You're also a content creator.
I've been a I have been a content creator, yes, but I don't identify as one currently.
Okay.
Although I was really hoping that this would help be the catalyst to inspire me to begin again.
You know what I really want you guys to do? After I have Yael, I'm going to force you guys to do this. You guys have to start your own podcast.
We would I want to do a YouTube channel with her.
Freaking do a YouTube channel. You guys would be so good. I like already see you guys would hit 100,000 subscribers before I do. Like you guys would hit 1 million subscribers before I do.
Well, we're pretty girls.
That's true, yeah.
We do better in the media industry.
That's true, you guys do. Listen, I could be posting consistently every single week, and I feel like you guys would like once a year, like selfies, like outright quick.
I don't think it's easy, but I do think the exponential growth happens quicker.
For sure. But not just that, you guys have the it factor.
Oh, yeah.
So it's like, yeah.
I've experienced growth before.
Right.
Like, it's wild. It's wild.
Mm-hmm.
I remember, I think when I was in freshman year of college, I posted like 7 or 8 videos, and one of them went viral. It was my high school diploma video about how I skipped 12th grade and how to do it. And I was like, I'm going to make it a whole series when I was making the concept. And then I just like never did it again. And I was not expecting that video to pop off, but I think it has like 100,000 views right now.
That's so awesome.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And then I got like a couple mil views on TikTok when COVID happened. And so I've experienced moments of like virality. Obviously, I'm like the smallest of like, it's not like millions of views, but like for me, a little Jewish girl from Queens, that shit's viral in our community. People don't go viral in our community. I think we're like anomalies in the real world. We're like weird. Like, why are you wearing a knee-length black skirt and covering your elbows and your collarbone? And why are you wearing that? Like, we stand out. People wear pants nowadays. Hello, I'm wearing pants right now. Like, girls don't wear skirts, especially in the winter. Dead of winter with leggings. not to like make fun of them, but it's not cute. Like I as a fashion girly, I could not approve. I couldn't do it as I hated doing it as a kid. I had no choice. But the second there was a choice, I said, nah, no, thank you.
Not for you anymore.
Not for me. It was never for me.
Never.
I just was forced to.
I see. Well,
anyway, we're getting on a tangent here.
Yeah, but where can people find you?
They can find me at Ayellet Sassoon, basically anywhere. It's just Ayellet.
Okay,
Who
so
else?
I'll add links to
Yeah.
the description.
Yeah.
You know, for YouTube or Instagram if you want to share that too.
Maybe I'll post something.
Yeah, and I'm looking forward to doing this again. Do you have closing thoughts? Something that you would share with something you want to share with the world? Something you would yell from the rooftops? Putting you on the spot right now.
Yeah.
Why is this thing?
I want to say,
Yeah.
just believe you can. Like, don't believe what people tell you about yourself. Create your own narrative about your own success in your own life. And that's really hard to do all by yourself. And I hope that whoever is listening to this, if this is something that you're struggling with, I don't know, maybe go go get that therapy we're talking about, because that's what therapy has helped me do. It's helped me process that. And so believing in yourself and challenging yourself as well. Also, having consistent, healthy habits is a game changer, because all we really are as humans is just a big compilation of habits. So what are your habits? Because they make up who you are. And so you have to decide what kind of habits you want to have.
Wow, that's beautiful.
Thanks.
That really is. I'm so happy
Big
that you
bow.
came on. Yeah. Yeah. It's something to think about, honestly.
Yeah.
Thank
You could
so
put
much.
that in the beginning of the podcast.
I should put the
I
closing
feel like
thought.
that summarizes our conversation pretty well.
It kind of does, yeah. It kind of does. You got to believe in yourself. Anyways, guys, thank you for tuning in. Thank you, Ayellet, for being you. We love you. Yeah, I can't wait to do this again. Unfortunately, we had to cut this short. But
yeah.
it'll be so fun.
Let's do it tomorrow.
Yeah, I feel so bad because we had so many good, juicy topics that I feel like
we kind of glossed over them.
Yeah, we kind of glossed over them, and it would have been so fun to like go in depth with them.
Yeah, I think we need to like create time boundaries for ourselves. Give ourselves like, we're going to talk about college for like 15, 20 minutes.
Right. That's a good point.
Stay on it.
Stay on that topic.
Then move on to the next topic.
That's a good point. I should maybe have like my phone here or something, but have like
Here,
a discreet.
you can have my phone.
No, meaning I'm saying like to like
Your phone's
discreetly,
filming.
you know, and have it like on timer and be like, okay, I'm talking about this 15 minutes.
But
you
also
know?
maybe like when we made this, we should have made topics and bullet points.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. That's a good idea.
Yeah.
All right. I don't want to bore you with this, audience, but thank you for tuning in.
We shouldn't film this.
Yes. To the rebellion, guys. You are capable. Think for yourself. Stay curious. And to the rebellion, as always. Love you.
And be a bad bitch.
Yeah.